my name is Leah Patton. I am a performer, specifically an actor that dances and also sings. My journey in the entertainment world first began in primary school, I would say. I was in year 6, I believe, year 5 or year 6. I did a play in school. I was only supposed to be like a background actor, and the main person or the main actor in my class was sick and she wasn't able to make it, and I offered up myself, I guess, to take the role, and I had to learn the whole play in 30 minutes before showtime. And I doubted myself. I was like, I don't know if I can do this, okay? But I did it. I specifically remember it. I only messed up about 2 or 3 times on my lines. So I learned a whole play in 30 minutes and only messed up 2 or 3 times in year 6. So that's where it began for me. After that, I was like, okay, I think I'm finding a little bit of myself in this world of acting. But I have always been called a drama queen my whole life. So maybe that was just in my blood and that's why I was able to do it. But that's where it first started for me. Something people don't know about me at first glance, I can't really think. I'm not going to lie. But I'm just going to say that I love animals. I guess you wouldn't be able to tell that at first glance. So there you go. How I would sum up my artistic identity in 3 words? Oh, let me think. I would say fun, willing, and bold. I think. I'm not really a fancy words person. I know there's probably better words to describe it, but that's what came to mind. So hopefully that's explains it. The vision behind the work, I would say, is the relatability. Being able to share real stories through art, powerful messages through art, and yeah, for people to be able to relate to that, maybe see themselves in the story, in the characters, so it leaves with a real impact and a real, like, what's that word, connection. I think that's the right word. Yeah. If I could only watch one movie for the rest of my life, I would say it would probably have to be a Disney film. I'm a massive Disney fan, Disney girl. Even though this is a very hard question. Anytime it's, oh, you could only have one thing, it's very hard for me. But I have to choose one. For the rest of my life, my goodness. I would say, I'm just going to say Descendants because that's what's just come to my mind. Descendants 2, I'll be specific. I love musicals. You know, I am a performer, I sing and I dance and I act. So I'm a musical girl too. So I would say Descendants because, again, yeah, I love musicals and I love Disney. So there you go. Fun fact about me that always surprises people. Honestly, I don't really have things like this, to be honest, or maybe I do. But I'll give you one recently because it did actually surprise the people that I was around. So I guess a fun fact about me is that I have done a firearm course. I did it in 2024, I believe, which is last year. Yeah, I did a firearm for TV and film course. That did surprise the people I told. So there's a fun fact. What fuels my creativity? I'd have to say tea because I'm a tea person. I absolutely love tea. I'm a tea addict. I'm trying my best. We've toned it down a bit. So we've made progress. But I love tea. So yeah, I would definitely say tea. Breakfast tea with milk. 2 sugars. A fictional character that I relate to. Hard question, I'll be honest. But I'll go with what just came to mind. I would say Ali Dawson. Disney again. Disney Channel. From Austin and Ali. I would just say Ali just because of the whole stage fright. I don't necessarily have stage fright. Once I'm performing, you know, just get on with it. But every actor has the nerves beforehand. I would say Ali Dawson only because she did spend a lot of time doubting herself, and, you know, when she tries or thinks about putting herself out there, then she has the doubts, and that's what stops her. And I do think that is something that I technically probably do battle with even now, is the doubts and the thoughts that will stop me possibly from doing certain things, because I tend to overthink. I can be quite hard on myself and doubt myself too. So I would say I lead awesome. The most embarrassing moment that I've had on set or stage, I would say, is when I had a cold and I had to perform in this theatre play that I was doing, a charity performance, small group of people. I remember it because this has only ever happened once. But I had a slight cold. I was having a blocked nose, like a sore throat, like coughing, and it wasn't a very pleasant sight. And I had to perform in that, and it was embarrassing because as I'm acting and I'm speaking, and I felt like I just needed to sneeze and cough and all sorts of crazy things, and I had to act through that. And there was moments where I really did have to pause and kind of like make it a part of the thing, because I was trying to stop myself from sneezing. For me, it was embarrassing. So once my scene was done and I left, I'd be backstage and I'm like, oh, get it together, Leah. So for me, anyway, that's embarrassing for me, because I felt like I wasn't doing what I needed to do, because in my head, I'm focusing on not sneezing and not coughing. But then on the outside, I'm trying to act. So yeah, that was embarrassing for me. And annoying, but yeah, embarrassing. A specific moment where I realised I was drawn to the arts, I think I've kind of dived into that a little bit earlier, when I was in primary school, when I was in year 6 and I had to fill in for one of my classmates who had calling in sick, or they weren't well. And so I had to step in 30 minutes before showtime and learn the whole play. That drew me to the arts, because I felt it was like this natural pull. Like this was just something that I was, well, I know people say born to do, but yeah, I just felt like this was me. This is a bit of me. I would say that's the first, probably the first and only time where I was like, oh, okay, I feel like this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm here for, in a way. Yeah, I would say that's the most pinnacle moment. So I would say the earliest inspiration in terms of sparking my desire or interest in the arts, I would say when I got to secondary school, and when you actually do drama in school and you do trips and drama trips. I think the first trip I had was Women in Black, to see that in the West End, and that was it for me. The love for theatre after that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. The theatrics, and don't get me wrong, I was scared. I was scared when the woman, like, you turn around and the woman in black, she's just standing there, and it's all dark in the theatre, right? And you see the woman in black just standing there, and I'm looking around, I'm like, where did she come from? And just watching her just walk in silence. And then times where on the screen, it was so amazing, the theatrics. It's a screen, but you can see her going up the stairs. Don't even know how they did that. And then it would go all black, and then she'd scream. I was scared, but it was amazing. And yeah, that was just how I need to do this. I need to be a part of this. It was phenomenal. But I would say that was probably the earliest spark, because I think that was the first thing I did see in theatres. So yeah, I would say that was the earliest spark. My family did encourage my creative side or my passion for the arts. 50-50, if I'm honest. But they, like I said earlier, they always called me the drama queen. And so I would say they did probably spot that in me, that I was going to do the drama because I was dramatic, you know, over the top, you know, drama queen, all of that stuff. So I think they did spot it. But maybe it is natural for some families or parents to have a bit of worries and a bit of doubt. So I would say 50-50, because there would have been times where, you know, is there anything else you could do, or something that's a bit easier, something that's not, you know, as open, or yeah, to everybody, in a way, a nice way to put it. So there were doubts, but there was an encouragement as well. The whole, if you feel like that's the only thing you want to do, then go for it. See what steps there are for you to get to where you need to go. Sorry, that's my laptop. So yeah, I would say 50-50, but there definitely was encouragement there and finding my passion and what I feel like I need to do. So yeah, I would say yes. My relationship with the arts has changed, I think, just in terms of the intention behind it personally and what I feel towards it. You know, when I was younger, when I first got into it, it was more different from a mental state of mind in a way, you know, transitioning from wanting to step into this industry in a sense of wanting to hide and mask myself inside of it in the way of trying to escape my own reality and things like that. Now transitioning from that and just having a pure, genuine love for it, in the easiest way to explain it. I've always had a love for watching films, TV shows, going to the theatre, always loved that. And then me being involved from doing drama GCSE, it was more of escape reality, become this person, and that's all I have to think about. Whereas now, it's still the love for TV and film that is still there. But me being in it now, it's more about the effect that it brings, the atmosphere that it brings on people watching. The effects and, you know, the feelings that you can leave with people, and the joy as well that it gives off to people. It's the atmosphere of the art, I think, is what it is. Is where the love is now, if that makes sense. What feeling do I get when I create or perform? In one word, honestly, free. I feel at ease. I feel most myself when I'm performing. Yeah, it's just that sense of I can do anything, if that makes sense. You know, I can, with the director in mind and working with you and how they want their story to be portrayed, but that sense of freedom that I can make this whatever I feel it needs to be, or what needs to be told in the way that I use my body in all of it. So yeah, that sense of freedom, that this bubble, it can just be molded into whatever it is, the message that we're trying to get across. So yeah, just freedom, at ease, like at home, I would say. My all-time favorite actor, I'll be honest, I don't actually have one. I have a list of people who I respect and I get inspired by them and I love what they do. But because I have to pick one, I would say Letitia Wright. I absolutely love Letitia Wright, specifically from, obviously Marvel, Black Panther, as Shuri. That's where I was introduced to her. That's where I know her from personally. Not personally, but, And I don't know, I would just say she's very talented. And sometimes when you see a relatability, I think, for me, it's the relatability with the actors on these films, on these shows, or whatever it is that they're on, and who come from your area, or it's South London, so I'm from South London. She's not from where I specifically am from, but when you see people who are sort of from your area as well, similar age, who sort of look like you as well, it's that inspiration that, okay, I can also do that, So I would say Letitia Wright in that sense. So performance of Letitia, specifically I would mention Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Obviously, because of the situation and because of the circumstances, unfortunately, we lost Chadwick Boseman. And a lot of Wakanda Forever was a tribute to him. But it's just her performance in general, when those scenes came up about losing the character, specifically Black Panther, T'Challa, But so obviously it's real for them because they knew him, but also acting, but also not acting. But it was just so touching, so moving, and just amazing. And just seeing what she brought out, the realness of it, because she did lose Chadwick. And then, you know, moving that onto the screen. Yeah, I'm finding it hard to word it, but it was amazing. She did amazing. I think if I could shadow her for a day, I'll probably ask her or see how she feels comfortable with the putting yourself really in the character, in the scenes, to get like how to really get the raw emotion that is needed sometimes in scenes. How do you really get that through? Where do you get it from? Like, how do you really use yourself through the person you're playing? Because it's still you, but you know, you're pulling that out and using it in a different scenario. So I would ask mainly about the emotional side of certain scenes. How do you really get that out? And mainly the comfortability in doing so. How do you step out of that point where you're being critical in your head and you're thinking too much or overthinking? How do you step out of that and just feel really in the moment as if it was just you and nobody else, or no cameras and things like that? So yeah, that's what I would want to learn. Yeah, I see parts in a way in the character that she played, from the sense of that jokey kind of vibe, or kind of like a not caring kind of vibe, kind of sister, like doesn't take anything seriously, quite jokey. I think I would see my style in that sense in that character specifically, but also the serious side, because I know that she has done more serious parts and serious roles, and that aggression. So yeah, I do see myself in those two specific roles that she has played. If I could co-star with Letitia, I feel like it could be like a family film or a family show where we could be siblings. Maybe she would be the older sibling, I could be the younger sibling. But I think it would be some sort of family show or family film where a family is depicted, or whether it's about that specific family or not. But I feel like I could be a sibling co-starring with Letitia. I feel like that would be believable. And fun. I feel like I could be the jokey one. Maybe Letitia could be the serious one. Or she could be the jokey one because she did that well. And I could be the more serious one. So vice versa. Yeah, but I think we could maybe do a sister vibe. Sister, playful, jokey kind of vibe, not serious. Yeah, I think that would work. I'll think of a character. So a character that's just come to mind is Disney, Sunny with a Chance. Sunny, I absolutely love Sunny with a Chance. Oh my gosh, obsessed again. I rewatched it like how many times? But Sunny, yeah, I'll do one scene that's like so funny. Demi Lovato, if you were wondering what it is. It was let me get into character. Okay, it was Chadley Cooper just stole my yogurt. Chadley Cooper just stole my yogurt. I don't know if that was good. But yeah, she's funny. Ooh. Random emotion to act out in one sentence. Okay. I choose guilt. And how I would act out guilt. Let's see. Listen, I need to tell you something, but promise me you won't try and stop me. Promise me. that girl on the news who is in hospital and they're not sure if she'll live or if she'll make it. I did that to her, and I'm going to turn myself in. Guilt. Dramatic monologue. 3 words. Okay. Sadness, anger, freedom. I'm going to try that. Do you know what? I knew I couldn't trust you. Yeah, you know, my whole family told me that I shouldn't trust you. And I did. I did because I always try and see the good in people. Ask me why? I have no idea. And I know I shouldn't have. You know, you constantly gave me signs that you shouldn't be trusted. Yeah, I did. Like a stupid little girl that I am, I decided, you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And why? Why? When constantly you make me look like a fool. I gave you everything. Do you know that? Oh, well, yeah, you do know that. I did everything for you. And time again, you threw it all back in my face. Like I'm nothing. I don't mean a single thing to you. And I just accept it every single time. What a fool I am, right? It's pathetic. But you know what? I don't have to deal with you anymore. Some other girl's problem. I'm done with you. You are not gonna manipulate your way out of this anymore. You can find another girl to manipulate. It's not gonna be me. Take your stuff and get out. Because we're done. If I could improvise a scene about losing my keys, okay, this is how I would start. Oh my gosh, every single time. This is becoming a problem. I need to clearly see something about this because this is happening too often. Where are my keys? I swear, I'd lose every part of my body if it wasn't attached to me. My key's on. It was there. Now it's not. What am I going to do with myself? Funniest failed audition story. It's a quick one, to be honest. I would say there was a time where I had to be off script for one of the auditions that I had. And I mean, I either didn't know or I just forgot. And I wasn't off script and I had to do the scene without the sides and couldn't because I genuinely didn't remember the lines. And that was not pleasant. The biggest challenge I faced, I would say, I don't know if I faced a biggest challenge. I would honestly just say all the no's. You know, it's hard to get every single no and not feel like, okay, am I doing something wrong? Or feel that I am doing something wrong, or that I'm in the wrong career path, that I don't have what it takes, and that, yeah, I should just move on or give up. And that goes into the next part. A moment where I have felt about giving up is through all the no's. or not getting auditions, not getting any work, auditioning and just not getting it, not hearing anything. Just when you feel like I'm not doing enough or I haven't got anything for a long amount of time, what am I doing wrong? I don't have what it takes. I don't have the skill. I don't have the talent. So that kind of merges together in that sense. How many setbacks have changed my mindset? Honestly, I would probably just say all of them. You know, every no, it does affect you. It does affect me because sometimes, you know, you get these auditions that you feel really passionate about the script and the work, and you're like, oh my gosh, I could really see myself in this. And then you either get a no or you don't get any response, with which is how it is, because, you know, they're so busy and they're going through so many auditions. But I think all of them kind of force you, all of the no's kind of force you to have a different mindset, because you're forced to remember why you're doing what you're doing. Forced to remember that I don't want to do anything else and I don't feel at home with anything else, and that is why I keep going. And that constantly changing your mindset, constantly forcing you to not be stuck in the mindset of, okay, I'm not going to get anywhere, or I'm not going to do this anymore because I keep getting no. It pushes you to just keep going, because you realize there's nothing else that I want to do. And you feel at home, even in that audition and acting, you feel yourself. And that's what shapes my mindset. A lesson I learned the hard way about the industry, I don't have a specific moment, but I would personally say a lot of what I know about the industry was in a way the hard way, as I didn't go to drama school or uni. So I kind of had to learn everything on the go, learn everything myself, not really myself, but through research and studying online through like YouTube and just research about the current industry. You know, I didn't have, you know, a course where I was involved in learning about the industry, agents, things like that, where I had to really learn myself, I would say is a harder way, if that sort of answers the question. How I navigate self-doubt during hard times is reminding myself why I perform, because I genuinely love it, you know, and there's going to be hard times in everything. There's going to be hard times. Maybe in acting more so yes than no. But it's just reminding you, yourself and myself, why I'm doing it, you know, why I love it and why I should keep going. Even if I doubt certain things, but it's just doing it because I love it. Yeah. Just doing it because I love it. Because there's nothing else that I want to do. Sort of goes into motivation and what motivates me, and showing up on days when it's tough. It's honestly the genuine love I have for acting. I've loved it since I was little, and growing up, it's the one love that has stayed the same. And I think the only time it's wavered is because of all those no's that you get, and it makes you doubt it. It makes you think, okay, maybe there's something else I should do that's more certain, because it is uncertain. But it's reminding yourself, this is the only thing that I want to do. And sometimes it isn't reminding yourself. Sometimes you do find yourself in certain areas and you're like, do you know what? No, I'm going to put it to the side and I'm going to go and do this thing. But then when you do it, you realize it's not the same. The love is not there the way it is with acting. And that's why I show up for acting. And I think that's what it is all about. It's that genuine love. And that's how I keep showing up when it is tough, because I always go back to acting. No matter what, even if I decide in my head, okay, I'm going to take a break from acting, or let me just focus on this, let me focus on that. But some way, somehow, acting will come back to my head and I'm reminded this is just what I want to do. And that's how I show up. Do I have a personal mantra or quote? Not necessarily, but what does come to mind is a scripture that says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And from when I was little, I have taken that with me. And there's quite a few that I do take with me. But that is one of the things that kind of like, you know, helps me to not have fear and just go for it, you know, whether I get it or not. You know, I may not get it or I may get it, but I can do it. And we just see where it goes from there. But yeah, that's one of the ones that I would say. Biggest supporter through my journey, I would just say my whole family, to be honest. When I do get work and I let them know, and it's like, you know, well done, and they're just the normal, you know, stuff, right? And even when I get auditions and I tell them what I might be auditioning for, and it's that like, oh my gosh, like if you've got this or if you've got that, and then yeah, so I would just say my whole family. The goals that push me forward creatively, I would say a goal that I have a few, but my top one is a musical because I love musicals. And I think it pushes me forward creatively because I do like to challenge myself. I like to do things that might push me outside of my comfort zone. I like to learn all sorts of dances. And I also like to sing things that might challenge my normal range and to see if I can do it. It doesn't always work, but it works sometimes. Sometimes I shock myself, but it pushes me forward creatively because, you know, it makes me look into doing dance classes, and also vocal lessons to further my ability of singing. So that pushes me forward in that sense, so that I'm able to sustain, I guess, training and rehearsing for said musical. So yeah, that would be one of the ways. How I stay passionate when the industry can burn me out is watching films, watching TV shows, acting myself, like improvising in my room or acting in my room randomly. TikTok as well. Any challenges out there or acting scenes, just record and just stay active in it. That is a few of the ways I would say I stay passionate. I surround myself with the arts, whether it's watching something or personally doing something in my room by myself or with somebody. That's how I stay passionate, and that love gets bred on, if does that make sense, or gets worked on. So it's not dormant. Yeah, that's how. What frustrates me about the industry is that I don't think it's as inclusive as it could be. I think a lot of the times you see work where it's the same actors again and again. And I think with some things, a lot of these companies can be more inviting for newcomers, for people who haven't had an acting break yet, and go all over the world. If you've got the ability, then that should be enough. But obviously it's not, and I get it. But I think it's the inclusiveness of it. It's not as inclusive, I think, as it should be. Give newcomers a chance, give people who haven't had a credit to their name a chance, because it should be about the talent only. Not only, I take that back, but the first thing should be about the talent, and it's not. So that's what I would say. Inclusiveness. Have I ever felt misunderstood or undervalued? Yeah, I would say specifically about the fact that I didn't go to uni or drama school. And I know that that does look a lot better in the industry and to some companies, or maybe some casting directors and stuff. But I think having not gone and given off that thing where it's like, oh, like it will breed some sort of reaction, or like a why or something like that. So I would say that's the only thing where I might feel undervalued or misunderstood, because I don't have a degree, specifically, a degree to my name. So yeah, that's what I would say. An industry norm that I think may hurt actors, I'm not entirely sure, but off the top of my head, accents, in the sense of it can sometimes be the be all and end all in a way. like you have to have this, or you know, you just won't get it or be considered. And sometimes there is a dialect coach where you don't necessarily need it at the time. If they do like your skill and your talent, then they may assign you a dialect coach where you're able to work on the accent or develop an accent. But I just think there's not a lot of leeway with these things. So if they say it, it's like you got it at that point. Yeah. How do I protect my mental health in a tough environment? Just try and be positive. You know, I am a believer, I believe in Christ, so that does help me in most of my tough times. Just speak life and positivity into what I do. I pray, and yeah, honestly, just try to be positive and see the good in things, and just trust that what is for me will come, and what I am meant to do and what I'm here to do will happen. That's how I'd say I would protect my mental health, and not just try not to be negative with things, and just try to be happy in all situations and in all scenarios. Yeah. A negative experience that taught me a valuable lesson, I would say in college, I would take it back to college. You know, there are times where you're assigned to work with somebody that you may not get on with, you know, and you feel like you can't work with them or act with them. But sometimes in the real world, you are put with people that you may not necessarily get on with, but you know, you both got a job to do, you know, and it's not about whether you like them or not. You know, you both got a job to do at the end of the day. And I think that is a lot of experience that I had to learn in college, that in life you may be working with people you may not necessarily get on with, but you learn to put things aside to do the best that you can do, and to be the best person that you can be in that situation, and knowing how to put certain things aside to get the work done. And in college I had to do that a lot with people, or people who just wouldn't take it seriously, performing and acting and what we do, and not taking it seriously, joking about, messing about. And the valuable lesson for me was doing my part. I can't make them do what I do. I can't make them take it seriously. I can't change their mind, and I can't, change the way they're behaving. If that's what they want to do, that's fine. But making sure that I'm always doing